HighTimez, High Time Reviews. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. We doing BMF Season 2, Episode 5. We gonna jump right into it. Look, so the episode start out with a flashback. That's like how most of the episodes been starting out lately, with flashbacks. So we get Charles and Lucille driving, meets Terry and Nicole in the back, and you know, Lucille throws on one of Charles' favorite tracks or whatever. Flash forward to, you know, them two in the car basically making their way to Atlanta and, you know, playing the same song. And Meech says to Terry, like, damn, I ain't heard this song since we was kids or whatever. So, you know, right after that, you get Brian and Jen basically pressing down on Denise, basically trying to get Denise to take a deal with them to flip on Meech and Terry, because they like, we know you work.
Ever getting out of jail unless you help us. Now we know you work for the Flannery Family Car Service.
Something you lying about that part, like, so you might as well just go ahead and work with us, or you're gonna be looking at basically life because of the amount that you was carrying. So Monique busts up in there, and you feel me, because she a paralegal, she worked for a law firm, so she was able to basically use their name as a way for her to get in and say that she was her lawyer. So she come in, hit her with a little proposition, like tell her like, look, we both share the same friends or whatever. You know, my friends are willing to take care of you and your family if you're willing to look out for me and my friends. So basically she like, look, take these charges. If you agree to something, we can probably get you agreed to something a little bit less. And then you can go ahead and eat these charges for us. We're gonna make sure you and your family good, and then we're gonna go from there. So she tells her to go ahead and consider the deal, but don't take too long, because it is very much time sensitive. It's time sensitive on both ends, because the longer she in there, the more likely it is she gonna crack, and then she gonna end up throwing Meech and Terry under the bus, and it's gonna be bad for everybody. In the next scene, you basically got Meech and Terry running down on the cousin with the Jerry curl, because he really thought that he was gonna get away with skimming off the top and buying that new car and riding around as if he didn't steal their shit. So they beat the dog shit out of him.
You're not gonna shut your bitch ass.
You think I'm stupid? You left my shit at fucking goddamn rock.
You know, take his car and then get back out on the road, because they still gotta go to Atlanta. They had to make a little pit stop. I don't know why, like, why did he think that was gonna slide, bro? And then you was flexing, and then people caught you. Not that you was just like, not that you had just did it and then laid low. Like, you literally bought a new car, was riding around. People saw you. So you just, okay. All right. Back at the house, you got Lucille basically trying to get Charles to go on a little church retreat. He ain't feeling it. He basically say to her, you embarrassed the shit out of us last week. Like, why would I go? Why would I go? And she's saying, look, at this point in time, we need our family the most. She said, we need our family, we need our faith. She like, the boys is out of commission, like, we need each other. So Charles basically tells her, I'm not going. She tries to send Nicole upstairs as if that's gonna make Charles say something different. No, Charles is not going. You could have let Nicole stay down there for all of that. Like, that's what Charles said. Charles like, listen, it was the point of sending Nikki upstairs. Like, she ain't heard this type of shit before. No. And then right after the conversation, of course, Charles stormed out, because he had to make sure he said what he said, and he walked out, you know. So after that, here go Lucille rummaging through his motherfucking guitar case again. Lucille, what are you looking for? You already know he stores porn there. And he knows that you know that he stores porn there, so he probably doesn't store porn there anymore. And then on top of that, if he was, what are you mad about? You're not giving him any. So at the end of the day, like, leave that man and his porn alone. Like, so back in the car, you know, Meech and Terry is talking, and they just driving or whatever, and Meech end up seeing like Terry's like algebra book or whatever in the car, and he throws that shit out the window, because he's like, nigga, you need to focus on what we got going on at this.
Yo, what the fuck, Meech? I need that shit. Get your fucking head in the game, nigga. And stop worrying about school so much. That's your problem now. Worry about Denise. And she don't take...
He like, you worried about a fucking algebra book, and we got Denise out here basically hasn't even decided whether or not she gonna take our deal. and she might crack, fold, and have us in jail. So he like, you need to pay attention to what's going on right here in front of Lamar is back. Like I said, I very much said this was going to happen. So like in the next scene, basically you got Lamar basically running around collecting his ends, taking whatever Meech and Terry would have been collecting around town. He's now collecting that because they're not there. And I said that. I said, Lamar, I said, what's going to be the difference in the town when they get back? Like if they are gone for a certain amount of time, how long does it take for Lamar to build back up his street cred and his team? Like it won't take that long. So it's like they need to hurry up and get back to Detroit or just prepare for war, because at the end of the day, he gonna be ready because they've been gone too long. So we'll see what happens with that. So he up in the little restaurant with Donnell Rollins, you know, he collecting his bread or whatever. Meech and Terry finally get to Atlanta and they end up linking up with Earl at like this plaza or whatever. And Earl's like, and you know, they basically discuss like potential plays in Atlanta, and like Terry is basically trying to get into a dice game or whatever. And he like, oh, I don't know nothing about no dice games, this, that, and that, there, but I probably know who can or whatever. So he end up telling them about, you know, go. As they're packing up to get in the van for the church retreat, it's like Lucille and Charles are standing there, and then the church mistress lady just walk up and act as if Lucille not standing there and start having like a full-fledged conversation with Charles.
Charles, you're not coming?
Nah.
I was hoping to show you some lyrics to a new worship song I've been working on.
Oh, maybe some other time.
Next rehearsal then. I love you.
Oh, Charles, you know this, that, and the third. I'm like, Charles, you're being super fucking bold right now, bro. Like, now if your wife haul off and smack shit out of you and her on the steps of this church, everybody gonna be looking at her like she crazy. Everybody gonna be looking at her like she crazy. Charles, you gotta chill, bro. And then Lucille, of course, being threatened by the whole shit and being a little insecure about the status of their relationship, she sits up there and feels like she needs to tongue him down in front of the church to prove a point to the other lady. Mullet Head is not even thinking about Charles like that, I guess. So next you get a little strip club scene because, like I said, you know, Earl had basically told them, you know, where to go to look into a possible play or whatever. So they end up at a strip club. And, you know, as soon as they get there, Meech and Terry is basically like talking about women that they feel like they you know, they in love with or whatever. So, you know, Meech is talking about how he loves his two baby mothers, this, that, and the third. And then Terry is like, you know, he tells Terry like, yeah, you picked a good one with LaWanda too, you know. But he like, yeah, but you know, I got something else too. So he ended up kind of like pressing him about like Marquisha or whatever. Like, so he kind of tell him that he got somebody, but he don't necessarily say that it's Marquisha. So that's the whole thing too. So you get your intro from Goldie, like I said, who's played by Monique, and some like scrawny ass dude is in like the club basically talking shit to her or whatever, talking about how he don't take no orders from no women, this, that, and the third. So she ends up cracking this nigga straight over there.
Your arms is too short to play craps with a golf.
Put your money where your mouth is. Why give you something else to put your mouth on?
I done already told you take your ass on. And I ain't gonna say this shit again.
Listen to me. I don't take orders from bitches.
Crowd straight cracks him right over there with a bottle. Like, and then basically tells the niggas like, get him the fuck out of there. Like, she ended up saying that she knew that Meech and Terry wasn't from around town because they had them fucking rat tails. That rat tail, they need to cut that. If they want to lay low and they want to be low profile, they need to cut the rat tail. The rat tail is the tail. It's telling that you ain't from wherever you supposed to be from because don't nobody got them shits. But I guess that at that point you consider you from anywhere because don't nobody got them shits. So Terry is so pressed for a dice game that he's like willing to sit there and play this dice game in this lady room. Don't even know this lady from Adam or Eve. And basically got his little ass scammed. And they took all his money.
2 dice. Minimum's a G. Maybe you want to find some action more your speed.
Well, now hold on, Junior. If the man say he wants some action, let's give him some action.
And Meech was fucking mad. Like, but again, that's Terry's fault because if he could have read the room, you could have seen that basically you was about to get scammed. I could see you was about to get scammed. She gave a look to the motherfucking card dealer. She gave a look to another nigga in a little suit that looked like he played cards. She basically scammed y'all. Like, in the next scene, please explain to me why Charles keep finding time to fix shit at Mabel House. Charles, your whole life in marriage is falling apart. But you got time to keep going down to Mabel House fixing shit, bro. You gotta chill. You gotta chill, and you're literally disrespecting the shit out your wife. So just give it a fucking break. Like, it's not even okay. Like, Mabel is dangerous. Like Mabel is dangerous for him. So he needs to stay away from her. So she ended up telling him, like, I'm having a few people over on Saturday if you want to come, woody, woody, woo. And he like, I don't plan on it, but I think about it. She like, Charles, you ain't got nothing else to do. You need
Project helps to relax, that's all.
Well, if you need a good distraction, I'm having some people over Saturday night. It'll be fun.
Take a little time off. So in the next scene, I knew that something was gonna end up happening with the son, with Bryant's son. So Kevin come to the police station, and he basically come up in that bitch shoeless. So Jim bring him in, and he basically tell his father, like, yeah, I got jacked for my shoes. Of course, Bryant gets completely over the top about it because he thinking like, yo, did you do anything? And he keep telling him like, Dad, I'm not you. Why do you keep trying to force me to fight these guys when that's not necessarily the path I want to go down? Now, I'm not going to keep walking home barefoot either. Like, so we going to have to find a resolution. Like, because it's either I fight for my life in my shoes or my feet going to be fucked up because I keep walking around barefoot because y'all keep taking my shoes. And my parents going to whoop my ass because I keep losing my shoes. So I'd rather fight y'all than fight them. They grown ass people. Honestly. So I guess we going to have to fight about it. Like, what? So, of course, Brian pissed off, Jen all peeking through the window. She basically saying what's going on, seeing the conversation, somewhat hearing what they talking about. So now she got a little extra information on Brian as far as, like, intel. Now she know about his family life. We back at the restaurant with Lamar and Donnell Rollins. And, he just saying, like, all of this, getting all of this and coming back and being back in the fold and being back on top. He like, all of this is cool, but, I feel like I'm missing something. It's something about that first love, woody, woody, woo. So basically, he pressed over Monique. Nigga, Monique done had a whole baby with me. You ain't worried about fucking Monique. You might have to let that one go. You really might have to let that one go. So after that scene, you got Meech and Terry basically running into the nigga Ty and telling him that they looking for a nigga basically like, I'm calling him a magician because they say he can turn one brick into two bricks. So I'm calling him that. And he like, well, let's just link up a little bit later. Brian go to the school. Brian ended up going down to the school, and you already know in situations like that, the parent only gonna make it worse. So the principal, she like, look, if he ain't gonna tell, and I ain't seen it, and ain't nobody else telling, as far as the teachers, it ain't nothing like
Marcus Lloyd has been bullying Kevin, roughing him up, stealing his shoes, ruining his cartoons.
Comic books. Kevin, is this true? Kevin?
So of course, just randomly, the boys that's fucking with him end up walking past as he's like standing there with the teacher and the principal. So now he like on the spot, like they looking at him like, go ahead, Rad, if you want to, like go ahead, like we're watching you, we can see you. So you got that. So of course Kevin don't rap because he like, nigga, I still gotta go to school here, like why would I rap on him? And you don't have to go to school here. You get to go home or go to work or wherever you're going. And I gotta fucking stay and get my ass whooped every day and get my shoes taken. Especially if I ain't gonna fight back. So Ty basically invites them to like a college football game or whatever. He tells them like, maybe we can link back up at my crib or whatever. So they get into the house. And when they get there, Ty walks them through the house, they see his house or whatever. And it's real nice. It's real nice. And just once real estate in Atlanta is a little different anyway. So Ty got a big ass house. And he basically telling them like, this is what you can get down here. And reaching them like, shit, it's a lot, in comparison to what he like, this first home says ain't no trap house. So, but he like, nigga, I do everything here. This is my operations and shit. So In the cut, in the camera, they end up showing like another dude over there in the right, like to your left or whatever, and you see him like at the counter, like doing, like I guess like cooking up. And again, I feel like they never show people on camera for no reason, so he's there for a reason. He's there. He's someone. So they tell Ty that they're looking for somebody by the name of Pint because he's supposedly the magician. And, you know, Ty basically ends up telling them, like, I'll help y'all find this magician person, but, you know, it's not going to be free because it's a drought and I don't have it. Y'all still need it, but we going to have to do what we got to do. So, Mo called Meech and tell him that Denise plans on taking the deal.
Hey, yo, our acquaintance is ready to invest in her future, but she gonna need that first contribution quick.
All right.
But she want the first cut of her money now. Like, he ends up asking that Monique is it still snowing over there? Basically asking her if she's still fucking with the dope. And she telling him, like, nigga, don't worry about what the fuck I got. You need to worry about squaring away your shit so y'all can get back here. Like, right after that, you know, of course, the detectives had to find out that Denise gonna eat the charges, so they fucking pissed. Like, they is pissed. Like, so it basically seemed like Jen and them get thrown off that case, even though she don't, their boss don't like straight out say it, but it seemed like they get thrown off
Every
that
person
case.
in this room has been busting their chops.
That's great. Since you and your partner came up with absolutely nothing. Timmons.
So the next thing up is like K9, and I guess they looking for K9 in connection to some sort of murder. That scene, you got Jen and Brian getting into it because she feel like his personal life is affecting how they handling business. And he like, you need to calm down and mind your fucking business. And she basically ends up calling him out about the whole shit with the son. And I'm just like, damn, you might be overstepping. But she wants to make sure that if they really gonna be partners and they really gonna be risking their lives for each other, that they are very much open with each other. So she trying to make sure that the lines of communication is there between the two of them, which I guess if you're risking your life for each other, she might have a point. So I get him out about that, about the shit with Kevin, and then tells him a story about her sister and how her sister was in this domestic violence relationship and how that was what made her want to be a cop. I don't know. Jen, everything can't relate to your sister. I get it, but it can't. You know? All right, so in the next scene, you got Monique in the house and you get a fucking big ass bang on the door, like, and it's a moment.
Get the fuck off my property!
I just want to talk. I just want to talk. All right, look, I know I fucked up, Mo, but I would never hurt you or Zoe.
Did your dizzy ass forget you put your hands on me in front of
She
my...
opened it, like, she straight put a piece on him, like, nigga, get the fuck away from my house. Like, he's basically sitting there pleading his case, talking about, like, meeting him really hurt me, showing her the colostomy bag, and crying about how even if he wanted to make love to her, he couldn't. She like, nigga, first of all, you got shit fucked up. We wouldn't be fucking even if I wasn't with me. She like, we're done. She like, did you forget you fucking put your hands on me basically in front of the kid? And then on top of that, the baby is scared of you. I had to get her the fuck out of here. He tell her like, oh, Monique, you need to get the baby back because you know how it is to have kids that separate from their mothers. Lamar, you're a fucking psycho. She gotta make sure you don't kill her in front of the baby. That's why. And then she got 2 kids now. So she definitely not about to risk it fucking with your weird ass. Like, talking about trying to get a second chance at his family. Lamar, that's not your family no more. No shade. That's Me's family. I'm sorry. He took that. The next scene, we got fucking B. Mickey. And I just don't understand why Brian feels like he can just show up at any point in time.
This nigga. Kid.
No!
And not look hot. Like, bro, stop showing up places. Like, you literally banging on this nigga door. I guess because, the mother's in the hospital, so nobody live there but him. But then it's like, still, bro, stop showing up in the daytime. Or at least call. Like, I mean, all these niggas got the big fat ass cell phone, so just call the man. Like, stop banging on his fucking front door, coming to his house. Like, that shit is crazy to me. In the daytime, like, you just don't even care if people see y'all together to the point where you're risking his whole life. But, you know, when B. Mickey opened the door, he straight tell him, like, look, Meech and Terry is on the run. I don't have shit to tell you. Get the fuck out of here. He like, oh, no, I need you for something else. So I already know what he thinking. Because Brian seen them kids at the school. He seen them 3 little niggas. So I already know. B. Mickey ass look like a fucking kid. Go ahead and use B. Mickey. Because like I said, B. Mickey looked like he in like probably like the 10th grade. The house, you know, like Ty is able like to secure them like, you know, another dice game or whatever. Basically end up asking them like about the whole shit with Goldie. Like, did anybody else bet on that game that you lost all your money on? So he's saying to them like, nigga, think about it. Think about it. Y'all niggas got fucking played. So Meech and them like, okay, bet. And here's my thing. Why do Meech always think that he can just get 10 keys from the people? Nigga, y'all in a drought. Why do you think people have 10 keys? A drought means it's not a lot. Mean it dry. Which means like, if a nigga offer you 5 keys, you should just go ahead and take that. Like, if a nigga offer you 4 keys, you should go ahead and take that. Like, I feel like make whatever money you can make and then just keep buying from different suppliers. So you can get all of what you need, but you just gotta make sure you pay everybody the fuck back. Like, Charles ended up showing up at Mabel party, and I'm like, Charles, you probably should have stayed your ass the fuck home. Now, here's my thing. Mabel party was cool. It was cool. But if she said she was their neighbor, how was nobody confused about the fact that Charles was there dancing with her like they was in fucking high school, grinding all on each other? She said they was neighbors, right? So I don't know how that played out, and nobody felt away, like, or nobody said nothing, like, ooh, y'all, they were Lucille's husband dancing with me.
I gotta know before anyone could take my place. Yeah, she came in with the game, so to win.
Nothing, they just let Charles cut a fucking rug up in that bitch just acting the fuck up, like. So it got a little weird when this chick walked up on Charles and Mabel was like, yeah, Mabel, we got us a good one here. Rolled her hand down Charles' back and grabbed his ass. And then because Mabel didn't go off and Charles didn't go off, it made me think, like, is this a brothel? Is she a madam? Why'd she say we got another good one? Who is we? So now I'm confused. Of course, it's the end of the church retreat, so they come back. And Lucille is unpacking the van, you know, with the other church lady, and she end up straight up asking the lady, like, is her and Charles having an affair?
What? No, absolutely not. I mean, I see the way y'all look at each other doing performances and how you want to show him your music. I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't done anything with Charles. I haven't done anything with anyone else. Don't you dare try to play me for no fool.
And that lady end up breaking down, having a whole confession about how her life was one way, and then she found the church, and, you know, she changed her life, this, that, and the third, and she promised her that Charles not having no affair. And Lucille, like, I see the way y'all look at each other. Don't play me like I'm dumb. Don't play me like I'm dumb, like I see y'all. Like, here's the thing, I see it too. We all saw it. But also, if she's saying she ain't doing nothing with her, and clearly that ain't the bitch you need to be worried about, because he running around with Mabel acting a fucking fool. She should have went next door. She should have been going next door. Basically, Lucille called her ass a goddamn Jezebel. But like I said, even though she said all of that, I don't think the girl was fucking with him. So there you have it. So the next scene, you got Goldie basically leaving her club or whatever, you know, her and her bodyguard or whatever. And, you know, she talking her shit, and he like, nah, I'm gonna watch you get in your car. She like, boy, please, you know, if anybody run up on me, I got that little surprise for him. Blah, 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 blah. So she get her car.
Keep your hands where I can fucking see them. I guess them Detroit boys ain't so slow after all, huh?
Meech turn hit the head, motherfucking headlights, boom. Put the shit right through her shit so she can't see. So eventually they roll up on her window, tap, tap, tap. So they like, nah, I don't even reach for your shit, because they already knew she had a little piece. So they tell her like, oh nigga, we know you jacked us. Now we back for it. So she like, I don't have no games tonight. She like, they like, but I'm sure you know where one is. So she like, yeah, but you know ain't nothing friend ATL. He like, yeah, once we straight, where's make you straight? Once we get back what we got taken. So she basically ended up setting them up with a game, you know, Fat Mike game and Bankhead. She tell him about his game and Bankhead or whatever. So they like, all right, Bella. Charles ends up smashing Mabel. He came literally in like 2 minutes. You know, it's almost somewhat understandable because Lucille not giving him none, so it was probably like the rush of the moment, the fucking fact that he probably ain't had no business in that piece of pussy or anything. Like, so he's just like, and it was it. That was it. Charles was done. He was out of there. He couldn't even look Lucille in the face. I mean, he couldn't even look Mabel in the face. He had to go. He had to get out. He smashed all up against the wall and shit. I was like, damn, Charles, you acting up. You really acting crazy. Lucille gonna kill the shit out of you. So so Goldie walk up in Fat Mike dice game, and you feel me? Meech and Terry walking separate, so they start playing, and they start breaking the room, like they start breaking the game. So they winning all the money, and then Fat Mike start paying attention or whatever, and he catches the fact that they was playing with loaded dice.
I wanna smoke some shit. Where that? I gotta smoke some shit. Where that?
What the fuck are you doing? The two niggas is working together. What? Charles, nigga, grown ass nigga.
My goddamn, take it easy.
So he basically take the dice, tell them niggas like, look, we gonna run it one more time, one more set. If y'all niggas ain't as lucky as y'all was prior to this, I'm gonna kill all y'all and Goldie, and I don't fuck with you no more, cause you brought these motherfucking red tail wearing ass motherfuckers up in here. So Terry rolled the dice one more time, hit that motherfucking 7. They take everything. Everything. I'm talking about the whole room. Fucking mad, Fat Mike ass, fucking mad, flipping shit over. Basically at that point, Goldie was able to tell him off, cause she like, yeah, nigga, don't ever fucking question my integrity. Like, even though she didn't know whether or not Meech or Terry had brought loaded dice, so she can't talk too much shit. So you got that. And the next thing, you got Charles standing in the house washing dishes, and he is reminiscing about that pussy. I mean, he was only in it for 2 minutes, but he had up against the wall. He was reminiscing. Yo, smiling. Yo, washing them hands. Man, Charles smiling. Hey, Charles, stop smiling. Stop smiling like you did something. You cheated, but it was the worst. Like, it was like not even worth it. You know, might as well not even cheated. You know, so... and did you even take a shower? Like, you standing there washing your hands. Is your hands all you need to wash? You had that lady all over you today. So you trying to tell me she don't wear no perfume? Like, to the point where, like, you think that you don't have to take a shower? Like, it's cheating for dummies. Like, just saying, if you want to cheat with a bitch, take a shower the next day. Or take a shower as soon as you're done. I don't know. So Lucille come in, you know, from you know, the church retreat, and of course she feel away because the young girl told her off about not fucking with Charles, so she trying to make it up to Charles, and Charles kind of like, girl, don't touch me, I just secretly fucking another bitch, so like I'm trying to like lay low for her. And she basically tell him like, you know, your night not over, you know, so woo. And now Charles basically gotta sit there and try to play with her, knowing that he just fucked up and fucked me. You got Charles and Lucille basically doing it, and he don't last with Lucille. This is in the same day. So I'm thinking like, shit, like, most times they say like, if you buff them, and then you can wait a few hours or a few minutes, you can probably go a lot longer because you got that person on, right? So I'm trying to understand how Charles ain't last in Lucille either. So he just don't matter. Alright, bro, you might have to just chill. That's probably why she ain't trying to fuck you. She probably like, that's the worst 15 minutes of my life. I don't know. They basically end up, so Meech and Terry, they basically trying to take over Atlanta because they start finding out little shit. So they go back to our house and they like, yeah, so when was you gonna tell us this nigga was the magician right here, basically? So they end up going,
Hey, my man. Yo. Hey, how much for that whip method?
The fuck you talking about?
Yo, we seen you measuring sugar over there like a mad scientist. Clearly, you the motherfucker we need to know, so what's up, pint?
dude that I said something about being on the camera in the left-hand side last time when he was over there cooking up. They're like, when was you gonna tell us? He ends up saying like, well, look, I am who I am, but at the end of the day, I don't just fuck with anybody. And if I tell y'all how I do what I do, that makes me less valuable. So what is y'all gonna do for me, basically? And he like, look, we gonna break you off once we do what we need to do and take care of you. So they the one thing I can say is we just heard always pretty much cover their word for taking care of the people that they say that they supposed to take care of. So I guess you got that. So in the next thing, you got B. Mickey running down on them little boys, and he end up slumping the one little boy. And it was crazy because the boy was like, yeah, what you gonna do is 3 of us against one of you. And his homeboys literally stood there, and he was like, watch.
You Marcus, right? Yeah, who asked you? Leave Kevin Bryant the fuck alone. The fuck you gonna do? There's 3 of us and one of you. Yeah, try.
Beat the shit out the boy, and his homeboy stood there watching. I was like, damn. And I'm just like, damn. You really thought y'all was gonna bang him, and then y'all ain't even bang him. It's crazy. B. Mickey slumps the boy, tells the boy to leave Kevin, Brian's son alone, and walks off, and just walks off. I ain't teaching Meech and Terry how to stretch the product, so he's showing them what to do, and then he letting them get hands on with it. He letting them get hands on with it. After that, they like, damn, we really thought we was done, we really thought we was down bad. Like, look at us now, like we basically about to be back up, and we know how to stretch the product, you feel me? So they feeling themselves, they in a good place mentally, for the business at least. So Terry basically tell him like, nigga, I'm back in. You already know how they say, wound to the tomb, baby. He like, I'm back in. He like, oh yeah, I feel like you asking. He like, no, I'm telling you, I'm 100% back in. So, I mean, it wasn't going to take long. This was definitely the moment that was going to make them link back up. Like, if anything, like after Lamar shot him, you already knew what it was. After he took the shit to Cleveland, you already knew what it was. He was back in. Fucking driving around that goddamn limo, goddamn driving service with Charles was not cutting it for him. So, they get a knock, you back at the house with Lucille, and you get a motherfucking aggressive ass knock at the door, and, she opened the door.
You are?
Yo, boys, they hurt me really bad.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe we should pray together.
Maybe we shouldn't.
I'm like, shit, this nigga. I'm like, if he fucking killed Lucille at the front door, that's wild. Like, I'm like, that's wild because that's their mother, bro. Like, I don't even know how that's gonna play. So, of course, he come to the door and he like, oh, you meet your Terry mom? And she like, yeah. Mind you, she was about to put the knife that she was cutting the veggies with in the kitchen in her pocket, and then she put it back on the counter. And I said, maybe you should have stuck that in there. Because she gets to the front door and forgets that she didn't put the knife in her pockets because she's all in her pocket. And there's no knife. There's no knife, Lucille. So you got Lamar standing there in the doorway looking like he ready fucking twist this whole bitch wig cap. Like he about to break her whole fucking neck. And she basically tell him like, look, baby, let's pray together, And as they praying or whatever, Nicole come down. And Nicole see Lamar. And if you remember, Lamar killed Nicole homeboy, her little boyfriend. So at the end of the day, Nicole like, whoa, that's the man. She runs upstairs, calls Meech and Terry, and tells them like, y'all need to hurry the fuck back. Lamar ass is fucking at the house, and mom is at the front door with him. So Terry and Meech like, look, we having a good time in Atlanta, but we need to fucking go. Lamar's at the fucking house, and mama's at the door. So they hit it. But here's the thing, Lucille had it. She had the prayer warriors with her. Because she literally prayed Lamar the fuck down. That's all I'm gonna say. She prayed Lamar down, and he did not kill her. And I'm surprised, and I'm shocked. And it shows that he's somewhat of a human being. Listen, y'all. That was BMF Season 2, Episode 5, Moment of Truth. Y'all make sure y'all comment, like, and subscribe. HighTimez out.